So, John, what's important to you?
Jesus is king, and that's it.
And what does that mean, Jesus is king?
That means when we peaked at 100,000 viewers and everyone plugged in their programs, I have a dating course. I could have made a bunch of money at the peak viewership on Rumble when we peaked. But I just said Jesus is king because I'm not here for money. Every other Christian channel is grifting. You can be gay and Christian, and they do all this stuff. They're doing it for money.
Right.
When we were talking earlier, you said Nick and I should run for office, right?
Yeah.
Nick, you, me are the last 3 masculine channels online. Isn't that kind of sad? There's no one else.
No, it is.
And so we have to sit down. You had Vosh, Destiny, and Hassan Piker, the 3 homosexuals, the trinity of homosexuality. You had them here, and we got to talk to them all day. And they try and call us radicals because we say we don't want to get our dicks cut off. Is it radical to not want your penis cut off? Or your son to go on hormone blockers at 15?
Do you think that if men were to protect their children from that, because I've noticed that men are not leading their wives now, and so it's mostly the mothers who are like, because of their emotional state, they are for that. Do you think if the men were the head of their wives that would be happening?
Yes, but again, you look at Andrew Tate and all these right-wing kind of like operatives that help us, they say dumb shit like women have their role and are good at some things, and men have their role and they're good at other things. That's not true, Jesse. Women suck at everything. The greatest chefs are men. Gordon Ramsay. If you get shot by a bullet, you don't want a female nurse to drag you. She can't pick us up. Yeah. We want a man. Yeah. So if you're gonna lead by absolute authority, not this, honey, you listen to me, so I'll buy you something. No, it's either 100% masculine rule or nothing.
And so what happened to the men that they became so weak?
You said it best. First of all, everyone agrees, even atheists, that we're born in a fallen state, right? Yeah. We're born to sin.
Yeah.
We adopt feminine traits. That's why these women walk all over us, right? When you adopt the spirit of your mother, you talk about.
Right.
I mean, you can see that when Hassan Piker and Destiny talk, the gynecomastia, the prolactate is shooting out their nipples. They're growing mammary glands. You can see the feminine energy. And here's the weird thing. I hate bragging about getting women because that's like fooling an idiot. Like, it's the easiest thing on earth. But the most toxic masculine channel, me, the most banned channel from Twitch, YouTube, all that, and now I'm back. And I got every single girl at every single convention. While the guys were Hassan Piker, they're all good-looking guys. They all had way more followers, way more status and influence, but the girls follow them toxic masculine. Why? Because women want it, and men, we crave it the most.
And so now that you're getting the attraction of all these women, and they'll start to follow you and listen to you, are they changing? Is that helping them in any way?
Yeah, so I went viral because one of them said in the first few days of dating me, I get all the passwords. If I start dating a girl, I have all your social media passwords, right? You can still make me some money. You can be on social media right now. I just met you, you're a stranger. But I get all the passwords, and then she said, hey, do you want me to delete my OnlyFans, where she posts her lingerie pictures and all that satanic stuff?
Right.
And people were shocked. They're like, oh my God, you can change these girls. Yes, if you are a high status masculine guy, they will stop being whores, Jesse. You can change them.
And so they're changing from what to what?
From whore to less whore.
But they're still a whore, they're just less whore?
Like from, remember the slut and slut maker? Right. This is slut to reformed slut. Because remember, anyone can be saved. Right. Jesus can save anyone.
That's right. But women are in a fallen state, and they're like that because, as you said earlier, they're born into the fallen state through the mother, and the father is supposed to help them overcome. But fathers are not doing that. So do you see women doing your work? Do you see women becoming more of the nature of God than that of the devil?
Definitely after meeting me, they become like a lot better. But the problem is I grew up in this beast system, so I do have sex with them. I am tempted, I fall too.
Right.
So that's the only problem. But if we get past that, if we get me married, yes, I can convert a bunch of women, but It's exhausting, Jesse. It's like one guy has to do this. If there's 10 of me, we could influence 10 million easily. But this is like exhausting. It's like I have to date 500 women to bring them to Christ. Can we have a few more channels like me helping me out? Like, what the f?
Do you plan to get married one day and start your own family?
You're gonna hate me when I say this, and like, pardon my French, it feels like blasphemy, but the one thing I have more faith in than God is women never fixing their stupidity. They are so 80% of marketing and media targets the credit card holder, which is the women.
Right.
Since toddlers, they're brainwashed to be sluts. I feel like we don't have a fighting chance. So a lot of these guys say, go to Colombia, go here, go. I gotta go over the wall to find a wife, right? So I'm thinking to myself, if I answer this, yeah, I do wanna be married, but is it realistic? Right? If I get married, is she a virgin? Because I'm giving her security, financial security, physical security, a beautiful 6'5" Albanian man. She's getting everything. I'm getting a woman that someone ejaculated inside of. Like, she's not even a virgin, Jesse. Should I be marrying a non-virgin? Is that fair to someone like Brad Pitt has to marry a non-virgin? I think I'll kill myself.
But women need men to be right so that they can be right. And so if they don't have that growing up and when they're young ladies and then they meet someone that really want to help them overcome, how would the women in America change if men like you don't help them, show them how to do it?
It's blackpilling, I know, but don't you believe there's psychic distrust? As soon as we start dating a girl, in the back of our psyche, we're thinking someone had sex with her already. So there's already this distrust from the beginning, from the honeymoon phase when we're having fun.
Right.
So I don't want to say like I've given up, but I want a Christian theocratic nation to fix this, because if everyone was promised a virgin, we would go skipping to work. We'd be building 10 bridges a day. And people are like, you're attracted physically to a hymen. I'm not attracted to a virgin physically. I'm saying I want the trust that if I date right now my girlfriend, she's 18, I'm 29. So I guess I'm a pedophile, right? But it's so much better knowing that, I had a virgin. Now, I'm not saying I'm marrying her. This girl's got serious flaws. But if everyone in America was dating virgins, we would fix all the world's problems, because every problem on earth comes from the will of God is masculine. But what about the will of the devil? It's feminine,
right.
Correct?
Absolutely.
So women, single mothers, you talk about this, if they have an 80% chance their kids grow up to be shooters, criminals, drug dealers. I was a drug dealer, but I didn't come from a single mom, right? So I fucked it up all by myself. But single mothers are 95% of the problem on earth, because to be a single mother is just a synonym for the biggest loser on earth, right?
Yeah,
You're a fucking loser. Single moms contribute to all the chaos on earth. That's exactly where the devil is, in the ovary.
But what I don't, and you're right that the women are born into the earth into the fallen state. But if men don't show them how to get right, because they don't know if someone don't tell them and show them right. And you are meeting a lot of women, and you're a Christian. If you don't start showing them the right way or treating them that way, how would they get better? Because as you said, it's hard to find a virgin woman nowadays.
It's simple. Get the fuck out of the workforce and no education for them. Because let's be honest, they're finishing all these degrees, but they are like, what is it, like 90% of the debt in the US? How the are they finishing all this college? And the reason our nation is in debt is because of these dumb bitches. Like, it's so obvious. We're stuck in a group project with some of these people who have up syndrome. Like, we're stuck in a group project with women failing for thousands of years. Plato, Aristotle, Schopenhauer, Nietzsche, they all came to the conclusion that women need to f off so they benefit from f***ing off. We're stuck in a group project with f***ing idiots, and the whole world, as the purchasing power increased, we all have iPhones and cars, highest anxiety, depression and despair we've ever seen. Now people are killing themselves in their Ferraris. What? The women don't want to work, Jesse. And they don't work. Do they work their whole lives? No, they don't. They need to get out of the workforce and just go start getting pregnant like the good old days. The 1950s was the best time to be
amazing.
a woman. You know, I'm not going to say the R word, but R word and harassment and sexual harassment did not exist in the 1950s. And they bring up the argument that it happened. Well, no, because the husbands were abusive. And I'm like, excuse me? You guys are going on Tinder and getting roofied at the bar. Every one of you is touched since teenagers by strangers. You want to compare that to your husband saying, shut the fuck up, bitch, while you're in the kitchen. In the 1950s, women didn't have these problems. They didn't even drink alcohol back then.
But they didn't have those problems because the men were men then. And so my question is, if men were men, would the women be out of control?
Absolutely not. But again, when we say men have to be men, it's almost this gay Andrew Tate bald position of be a man just to be a man. What is it to be a man is to follow God. You don't fall in love with your wife.
Right, you
love
right.
God.
And so are you helping men to turn back to God?
Absolutely. I converted 1,400 of the youth, and I got my team that I pay to check if there's bots or fake accounts or just, bullshit. We checked, we got their high schools, we got everything on emails, DMs, and everything. 1,400. A lot of them were previously Muslims like me, converted to Christ in 1 week of one comedy routine I did on a dating show called Fresh and Fit. I broke a world record. So and these pastors and priests and stuff, oh, you're a little too radical, you guys aren't doing your job. I'm doing your job for you, so shut the fuck up, get the fuck out of the way, clown. I converted 1,400 in 1 week. When these big channels can't do one conversion a day, they're pathetic.
So you converted 1,400 men?
Yes, very young men, 17 to 21.
And so now they're learning they're growing into manhood?
Absolutely, they're going to church every Sunday.
Have you ever considered running for office, like in politics?
I mean, definitely as I grow older, I'm not going to just keep doing funny stuff and all this stuff. One of my heroes is Malcolm X. I know he's a Muslim and stuff, but I loved X. By any means necessary, I will change this land. Because changing the US has an effect, like Brexit, worldwide on everything. And man, Jesse, I was the last generation that played outside with bikes. I didn't have iPhones and all this gay Instagram shit. Right? That came way later in high school. But dude, the good old days it was like the Garden of Eden. These people are killing themselves at 13. They really think because they have some apps that they have good lives. I genuinely believe if we bring the world back to the 1950s without the racism, but with the sexism, I think we can do it.
What made you switch from Muslim to Christian?
Right, so basically, when I started studying power, I'm obsessed with power and who rules me, and I found out most presidents, they were like homosexuals, and they would go to a different temple, not church, they would go to a Masonic lodge, a temple. There's plenty here, and I started reading about the 30th to 33rd degrees of these Freemasons, and basically they promote Islam, they promote Buddhism, they created these, they promote everything, but the whole theme is they don't reject Christ. But they think Lucifer is the supreme authority, and everything they do, media, politics, banking, is anti-Christ. That's why in the algorithm, those Muslim channels, they go to the top, but people like you get shadow banned. Everything is an attack on Christianity worldwide, and I read history. Did you know the four winds of the earth, the Gospels were heard by everyone on earth? At one point, Indians were Christian, and they buried that history, because if the news is fake, the history is fake. And the timeline's warped. At one point, everyone on earth, Christianity was the only religion. Religions are just to take you away from the cross, because Christianity is not a religion. It's the default position of God. Everyone in their heart knows the highest level of love is sacrifice. If I jump in front of bullets for my son, that's the highest level of love. And that's Christ died, and we're washed in the blood of Christ. This is the only story of God that makes sense. Every other story sounds like a fucking Harry Potter flick.
So how did your family feel about you converting over to Christianity?
They're just happy I'm not drug dealing and fighting people on the streets
I see.
and doing all that shit.
Um,
Because I worked as a nightclub bouncer. I was fucking a lot of women, sinning hard. I was sinning this much, now I sin this much. But to the average guy, this much is this much, right? I'm still bad. I like having sex with models. That's my only vice. The only thing I have to fix.
I could be wrong about this, but I was under the impression that if you're a Muslim, you cannot convert to another religion.
Well, yeah, that's why they started attacking. How can man pee and poo? And they started attacking Christ in the comment sections of my Twitter. And my whole following, the gangsters who protected me were Muslim in my city. My whole following, all the money I made was Christian donators. And I still have 80% of them, but they still love me for what I'm doing, right? Fighting feminism and all the evil. But they started attacking Christ. And you know how Christians turn the other cheek and all that? I start attacking their religion. Then what happens? They find me on the street twice. We talk it out, nothing. Third time, 3 of them. I fight 3. And I kind of started it, but I was fed up. And so I fought these. I have a black eye on twitter.com/ZherkaOfficial, right? And I put it as my profile picture, and they're all making fun of me that I lost. I said, it's 3, okay? And basically they want me to they're saying that I need to come back and all this shit. They're trying to guilt trip me. I'm like, what's the largest name of God for all of human history? It's Christ. They try and tell us in 40 years, Muslims will take over. And no, the largest name of divinity. They had an argument saying, what about Muhammad is the most popular name on earth? That's not a divine name. If we go by names that are ascribed divinity, Jesus Christ is the largest name. So I can either go back to being a Muslim and say, my God loses to Jesus Christ, a mere mortal, a man, or that is not a man. That is human form of a man, but that is God. That is the word in flesh. How the can I go to any religion? Because then I would have to say, my God has a smaller clout. My God has a smaller following than Jesus Christ, who's just a prophet. He's clearly not a prophet. That's God.
So, how long have you been a Christian?
2 months.
2 months.
But I tried my first prayer years ago to God, and it worked. Then I was too afraid to pray for anything else. Just sweat by the brow, did everything on my own. This time was a little different, and I said Jesus Christ. And it was very hard because I felt like a traitor. But let me tell you something. If you're a Muslim and you're coming to Christ and you feel like you're betraying your tribe, remember your tribe is betraying God.
So do you, as a result of being a Christian, do you have perfect peace?
Absolutely not. But compared to where I was,
Right.
I was about to kill myself. So I'm way better now.
Right.
But again, I feel no matter who you are, every morning you wake up as a satanic atheist and you battle back to God. I really feel that you don't just flip the switch. Every day you have to become a Christian again. You have to try, right? You have to pray. You have to do some acts. You have to, you really have to just you can't say it's a fairy tale in your head. You have to feel like you're being washed by an infinite, divine being.
Do you believe that it's possible to have perfect peace?
No, you do. But
Yeah,
I don't.
but why don't you believe that?
Because it reminds me of that gay fat ass Buddha. Buddha, perfect peace. I don't think.
Oh,
I feel like
Buddha talk about perfect peace?
Yeah, I mean, isn't enlightenment perfect peace? I don't think.
I'm not sure about Buddha.
I think you can, definitely, because the point of life is not to be happy; it's to reduce suffering. But I don't think you'll ever reduce it to 0%. I don't believe that.
But Christ came that we might have perfect peace.
Again, perfect is, a word that I ascribe to God. I don't think humans can be perfect at anything, literally nothing.